Hello everybody, welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 13, not 10, Week, 6?
Week
6! Week 6! It's Week 6. Today, we got QoP Circles, we got Defense of the Flat Earther, we got the two teams that I'm the most personally involved with this season, so I had not too much to do with this one. Conflict of interest type match. But I did have some. We got three stand-ins here today. Matty Boy and Moon River are standing in with us on the circles, and PVC Pipe is standing in on DotFE.
Heller's gone for game 1, but we'll be here for game 2.
Can't wait.
Apparently.
Oh man, all I can think is, what are they trying to pick if they're gonna ban Rubik?
It's a good question. Notably, QoP Circles immediately banned out the CK. You know, it's a situation where it's like, Katie's performance on Chaos Knight is so dramatically different compared to everything else she's played. Why not go for it, right? Why not get rid of it? Why?
I feel like that could be a bit of hubris.
What do you mean?
Well, specifically speaking, if they're going for a start-off ban with a hero that, even if it's a performance pick cancel, like, even if you get rid of that, there's always a back pocket option, and if you dedicate all of your picks to the opponent's, you know, big carry or core, you risk not being able to. Oh
no! Don't get me wrong. It's not a question.
I didn't
that's me.
realize you could have chat wheel sounds go through to the
Yes,
Yeah, you can.
game.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not a question of we're gonna build around no CK. It's like, why would we let her have this hero when she has just performed so much better on it than anything else? Like, just get rid of the headache. Just make it simpler for you. Here's Ogre Magi.
You already know my opinion on RNG heroes. I'm not big on them.
Well, Ogre Magi is big in general. Man needs to go on a die, you know what I'm saying?
10 seconds remaining.
You know, funny thing about Ogre Magi as a first pick is he's saved from that. You don't really have a good counter pick to him. But there is one specific situation. Also, I'm pretty freaking sure that Viper pick was to deny Katie.
No, I'm pretty sure that Viper pick was just early.
Puzzle.
Yeah, Katie's a pause one in this team. Also, I can tell you what the Viper pick was and wasn't because that was one I picked. I did not want it to be in first round though. Got Mars coming up. It's their pause 3 this game.
Please tell me this isn't a setup Mars. Don't get me wrong, Mars' ult is great for setup, but I still don't like the idea of Mars being picked just for haha, I blinked in and I've got walls.
How you play this would be cursed into arena, right? Like you curse whoever gets cursed is probably dead, and then you just arena everybody else who was stuck attacking someone.
I think there's a trick with it where you can actually force everybody to force run into the walls, where if you get cursed right on the edge, and they have to like all approach from one angle to get to it. If you were to spear the original target with your wall up and it puts them to it, it'll make everyone try to run to said target and constantly bonk into the wall. But I don't think that does damage, so...
It is funny though.
I've seen weird interactions between Winter's Curse and
yeah, you can't take damage outside of Wyvern.
Well, the Viper pick this early is good and bad because on one hand, a Viper pick this early is a soft ban for a lot of the heroes on the roster, right? Yeah, there's a lot of God damn, enough with the voice chat wheels. Maddie, stop.
It is definitely distracting.
Anyway, as I was saying, as far as Viper goes, a Viper pick this early is basically a soft counter pick, but the downside is that a Viper pick this early also is just so easy to get rid of. It's very dangerous. And most notably, there is somebody left in this pool who I happen to know is going to be in this game. I'm speaking like this one isn't spoilered for me. Somebody in the pool that counters a Viper pick really, really well, actually. That is not so far been banned. A lot of attention being paid. In fact, perhaps overly much attention being paid to the support line on the half of the QoP Circles here. I would think that sending them a ban list where there were like 3 supports on the list would guide them into the idea that maybe that's not who we're worried about, but apparently not, Bubsy. Here I am, just flaming the hell out of my own team. So you know how this game ends.
You know, I just realized one gaping hole in their team comps, one way and the other. Between Ogre Magi and Viper, they have a lot of like hard single target dependence on picking one person and blowing them up, which is, it's natural. It's typically the way of just killing someone as quickly as possible. But they've got two of the best AoE initiates currently, and genuinely kind of mess up Ogre and Viper individually, because Viper has got good magic resistance. He's got a pretty decent amount of strength growth, but his agility score is kind of pitiful. So he's got no armor, and if he gets Winter's Curse and they have to pick a proper pause 1 over him, that's a bit on the easy to kill people with a single swing end of things, he's not going to be having fun, and he's a great target for Winter's Curse.
You want to hear the good news and the bad news?
He's a good target for Curse, and he's also good to be in a Curse.
Well, he's not great in a Curse. He's only great in a Curse if his autocast. We got Pugna.
They are way over depending on single target kill here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Pugna pick.
Pugna's W with Ogre Magi and Viper, though. Like, Decrepify plus Viper Strike and like a times 4 multicast. Yeah, no, it is insta-kill city over there.
On one hand,
speaking of,
on one hand, it's insta-kill city. On the other hand, I think it's too much of the good stuff. I think
also,
somebody more defensive would have probably done them a lot better here.
Yeah,
Shadow
speaking
Shaman
of defensive.
Viper.
Yeah, speaking of defensive though, man, Winter, Wyvern, and Mars with a sniper on the team. If you try to dive and go for that little midget, if he's got Shadow Shaman next to him as his spotter, so to speak, you're not gonna kill him. If
the arena comes up,
just gonna get shackled into like a Spear of Mars. And
shackled, Spear of Mars, into Hex, into basically the entire team's like full complement of CC. Also,
I mean, let's make it simple. Let's make it simple.
Hold on. This needs to bear mention. One of the best combos I love seeing whenever a Mars is picked is seeing someone confidently choose Sniper as their carry role. Why? Because Shrapnel and Arena is so damn good together. Match made in heaven.
I tell you what else, alright? Let's make this simple. Let's make this really simple and easy. You get into the arena, the Shadow Shaman wards come up. You're dead. Goodbye.
Yeah, Snake wards in arena is bueno. Oh, that's a good pick, actually. Considering their lineup, that's a good pick.
I mean,
great bait for is great bait, but he's also a little risky with Wyvern, but he's good to deal with Mars.
It's great. It's great in one way, but it's not good in the other. I can tell you this much: he's going to be nightmarish in the curve. You know, right now, pretty much if anybody else on this team gets curved, Wraith King's just going to kill them, and that's what you really don't want to have happen to you as Wraith King.
Yeah. Honestly, I gotta make a little addendum here. Wraith King, I am a huge proponent and supporter of getting his eggs. Like, I adore his Wraith form eggs. And against that team comp, where any posthumous kill could settle it, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth going into second or third item.
Could be. By the way, we're banning out the puck. Assuming a puzzle on Sniper, for some reason.
No, I think putting a puck in this team comp is a bit of an overcommitment. But if Sniper's gonna be either one, you know who I'd actually love to see in this to really like solidify their ability to punish people getting in and up close, because they haven't banned them for some reason against that team comp? Necrophos.
Right. I was gonna say no Grimstroke either. That's very interesting last bans, and unfortunately neither of them are the ban you really needed. Hey, you remember when I said that there was somebody left in the pool that like super counters Viper that's in KD's pool that we just didn't ban for some reason?
Yes, he's probably about to get picked.
Yeah.
It's gonna either be Drow or... Well, actually, no. Jug is banned. They banned him themselves, actually.
Yep. 5 seconds. It's going to be either Drow Ranger or Drow Ranger. And with that Drow Ranger, you have now basically eliminated 3 of these people from this game. Because...
plus Sniper, plus Wyvern. That's pretty nasty.
They didn't ban Anti-Mage, actually, on either side. I'm kind of shocked, because both teams really don't want to see Anti-Mage.
I think
favor in puzzle ones right now.
I suppose, but no one blows up Wraith King, especially Pugna and Ogre, better than that. And Wyvern and Drow and Sniper don't like getting jumped on by a hero who has not just high magic resist, the ability to reflect spells you toss at him too. That is essentially lethal.
Downside is, I feel like if you get Anti-Mage, there's a good chance if the ult just comes on you, you just die every time. And yeah, there's a Drow Ranger, as mentioned. So Ogre Magi, Viper, and Wraith King are basically all no longer in this game. Which is very, very unfortunate. It means this offlane is going to be... As long as Katie is smart enough to level up Gust early, this offlane is not going to go well for them.
Oh, yep. There's the Ember.
Yep. It was, you were talking earlier about how they don't have a lot to sort of, you know, gum up the works. Ember Spirit's definitely there to do that. One interesting thing, I really don't understand the Puck ban in particular. Like, even if Puck was...
Yeah, the Puck's a great follow-up to any of the Wyvern or Mars ults.
I feel like it's just redundant. I would much rather you have Puck, and you just have, like, one more thing that's effectively going to do the same thing as both Wyvern and Mars, with really not much more. It's too much of the good stuff. It's kind of the same way I feel about the Pugna pick over on QoP Circles. It's too much of the good stuff. Like, yeah, that's going to really amplify the damage that Ogre and Viper are putting out. Downside is they were already, at least they should be, feasibly murdering people anyway between the two of those guys, especially if Ogre Magi levels up right. And to that end, you know, the decrep there is, I don't know, it's very unnecessary. It feels very unnecessary. They probably picked Pugna in large part. I know people are mostly doing this right now for saves, to just kind of sit at the outskirts of a battle and just vomit health into somebody. Good luck doing that with Sniper and Drow on the field, though. It is not going to be easy.
You know, looking at their team comps, I've identified one sort of equivalent issue between all of them. They've got two beefy heroes, one decent infighter like Viper on both sides, and in respect to that, there's kind of Drow. They both have this, like, I wouldn't say Drow is their hard one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sniper in the end of it, but Viper is great at shutting down heroes who have good magic resist and rely on passives. Drow is good at shutting down heroes who have high armor and rely on passives. And active cast, actually, not passives.
Yep. Unfortunately, Viper relies on active cast to do his job, so he's written out of this game, basically. You know, I've talked about... You can tell, whoever called a not ban that does not watch the cast, because I often talk about what a bad matchup that is in particular.
It really depends on who shot first. If Viper gets Viper Strike off, Drow dies. If Drow gets Gust off first...
That is who fires first, but Drow, I think the problem is Drow has better firing power to fire first. Like, Drow will fire first in this matchup 90% of the time.
And on top of that, I think even if Viper fires first, Drow still has a very good shot of just, you know, like if Viper fires first, Drow has to rout. If Drow fires first, Viper has to die. That's basically it.
Drow has a good ability to prevent escape, but doesn't have good escape herself. She has to build for that.
Right.
Also, I've been meaning to ask this whenever Drow is picked next time, because I didn't get the chance to last round. So, Drow Ranger, right? Hero that really depends on positioning, similarly to Sniper, to make sure that she doesn't get her shit pushed in by any casual melee hero just strolling up to beat her face in.
Right.
So, why don't people build Blink on her more consistently? Why do they try to go for things that are a little unreliable in
I think it's because Hurricane Pike, like most people are going to build Hurricane Pike, and most people don't like, most people don't like building Hurricane Pike and Blink at the same time. You did see a few people do like, you did see people build Swift Blink during the time that was just laughably.
Also Shadow Blades and stuff like that. It's for the passive break. I get that.
They still do buy Swift Blink. It's just like your 6th slot basically.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah, it's just, I don't get why they don't build Blink earlier, because even as like a second item, like say first item you go for something something really like standoffish, not really like it's nothing really impressive, just a good base stat item. Maybe I'm not usually a person to advertise these because I think they're honestly awful items in every way, but the circlet equivalents, right? For every stat category, like Wraith Bands. Wraith Bands, I think, are fine to pick up on Drow, just because of how her stat growth works and how she interacts with it. But
people are gonna call you a hot take aficionado for saying that the circlet legs are bad.
circlet items are not bad.
They are like the most popular item.
I did not say they were bad.
Okay.
I'm saying that I have a distaste for them because it incentivizes trying to cash in early. It's sort of a, I wouldn't say even a power move play. It's more just, it feels really desperate and that you're hinging a lot on something really fragile. Because all that money is not going to go much of anywhere.
It depends on the hero, because, like, Storm Spirit right now can win games with just 3 nulls. Like, that's all he needs.
Well, that's just the thing. He's a snowball hero. That makes sense. Drow isn't really a snowball hero. Drow needs to get consistent farm and
Drow's more of a tempo hero, yeah.
You have to really pick and choose when you decide to show your face and help in fights, because if it's too... It's a lot like Anti-Mage, actually. You show your face too early, they turn the fight around, and they turn you inside out like a goddamn sock.
Speaking of being turned inside out, this seems like a better time than any to do the cast call. So let's just run down the list here. Pause 1, captain of the team, QoP Circles, CombinationBean on the somewhat unfortunate Wraith King in this game. I feel like Wraith King right now, or the Skeleton King as it were, is about to be First Blood.
Yep, that is First Blood.
That's the Spear of Mars plus a Shackle, the classic combo.
Yep, not really something that you're going to be able to deal with.
A more iconic duo.
I will say it's not like a disaster to have that happen to you. It's not something you want, but like you're just gonna kind of expect this out of this lane. You can definitely come back for it if your team's able to buy you the space. But anyway, Pause 1, CombinationBean, captain of the team, currently on the Wraith King. I don't think Wraith King's great this game, but we'll see. Pause 2, we've got Moon River standing in on the Ember Spirit. Pause 3, Crafty Potato here on the Viper. Pause 4, Matty Boy is on the Ogre Magi. He's also going absolutely nuts. This is way too aggressive.
It's running down.
Ooh, that tower
oh my god,
almost failed.
Almost dead.
Alive, because Viper is equally crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Splinter Blast.
But the gust comes out. This is over now. Or maybe not.
Boy.
Dude, turn around!
He's kind of mad.
What are you doing? Oh my god, that was not great. Crafty Potato on the Pause 3. That was you know, if you are going to make a mistake, commit all the way to the mistake. You know what I mean? That was a case of like he tried to turn around too late. If he had turned around here, he would have been alive. If he had just stayed there and just killed, yeah, I think the silence probably overly rattled him. If he had just stayed there and just kept firing, he at least gets a kill on Alexa Jax before he goes down. If he's firing on the right target, he might even get Drow Ranger. But he got that far and he turned around, that's not the thing to do. Matty Boy, though, definitely playing this overly aggressive.
A little.
Matty Boy, by the way, standing in Pause 4 over the still missing Tall Balls. If you or anybody you know have any information leading to the whereabouts of Tall Balls, please let us know here, because we actually still have not heard anything from him. And finally, Trisoft on the Pugna.
Never refuse gold.
Here's the thought I had recently, right? I think right now Wraith King is like... situational is like a hard thing to say, because I do think the situation where you want Wraith King isn't like a rare situation in particular. I guess maybe niche is a better way to put it. Wraith King is a very niche hero right now. I don't think you can just generally pick Wraith King and be okay. I think he has to have a good match to do well, basically. He has to have good matchups, he has to have a purpose to be there. I don't think you can just pick him. I don't really like him this game.
He doesn't match up well against most of the puzzles in the meta right now.
Right.
Which is unfortunate for him.
Good choice to stun Viper and buy some time against the Nether Toxin.
Right. The, some fun happening at bot lane while that was going on. Let's take another look at that.
I was gonna mention, actually, oh, yep. Pugna managed to get the Nether Blast off. Oh, and the Nether... Yep, Nether Blast did a lot of work there, and Ether Shock, gives him a trade-off, but, nah, this isn't going much else anywhere.
Yeah, it's not great for the safe lane here, you know, because Pugna got the kill for the safe lane, and Mars got the kill for the off. It's not the most ideal trade. And Skeleton King, I don't think, was close enough to have any residual from that. I don't think he was in XP range, so...
Yeah, to tell you something, though, I gotta say, Katie... If you can hear this, and when you do, if and when, you better be watching these, I swear to God.
She does. I know she does.
I'm very proud of you for actually taking value points and skills that people usually get greedy and completely ignore.
Yeah, if we can say one good thing about Katie here, Katie's definitely a cast watcher, because I've talked before about, like, you know, with a loft lane like this, if Drow doesn't level up Gust, she just dies. Every time there's an encounter, Katie just dies. She just eats it. But because she got just one level of Gust, it's a little hard to see her dying at all this lane.
Speaking of getting one level of Gust, wow, look at that value.
Yeah, I got 2...
Viper's getting shredded by creeps!
He's in the wave, unfortunate.
Once again,
it's like I said, Viper just has no armor. The dude just can't stand up to getting hit with auto attacks.
I had some testimony.
Drow Ranger is similar to Clinkz in a lot of ways when we're talking about this, because in an ideal world, you want a Drow Ranger lane where you don't have to have Gust. It's like Skeleton Walk for Clinkz, right? Like, if you can get away with just going, like, 4-4-0 on Clinkz, you'll be happy. I don't think it's 4-4-0, but 4-2-0.
420.
Something like that, yeah.
And then, with Drow, it's kind of the same way. Wraith King as well. A lot of heroes like that, where you don't want to have to level it, but if you have to, you know...
You want to make it count!
Yeah.
So far it's counting. Once again, Matty Boy here. I actually have... This is unique. I actually have some testimony relating to this match, right? You know, with Matty Boy, I tried to communicate, right? I think I should have been better at telling him to get back. I always just kind of kept following him into the dives. I wish he wouldn't do that. That, from Viper.
Very sad.
Yep. Viper picking up the Nether Toxin in this lane, which isn't a bad idea. Pretty much, I mean, on the surface, it looks like it's not good, because it's like, oh, you know, Drow...
But Drow's about to
have
hit
a passive.
6,
She is about to hit
so,
6, but even before that, it's like, you know, Drow passive, you have ways to deal with that. Matty Boy was out of the lane way too long and didn't really react to that correctly, unfortunately.
You see, you remember how I said Ogre was just sort of a safe pick, but not like a really tooled pick? That the problem is, you're trying to combat an enemy team who has 3 actually sources of really potent slow, and try to run away from them. He's got a stun, but what he needs is a displace, or he needed something other than Ogre, if you ask me.
Now, you know what the issue is? Because I actually picked this lane. You want to know what the issue is, right? I picked Ogre Magi in this lane to do one thing, basically. I picked him to go all in on E and make Viper an unstoppable, just murder machine. So you don't have to run away. Viper just stands his ground with the massive Bloodlust on top of him, right? You know, with that 60 bonus attack speed, and just melts anybody he sees. The problem is that A, they got a bad lane to do that, because they didn't ban out the Drow, and B, he's not leveling that, nor is he sticking with Viper. He's just trying to take trades in the jungle, which is not how you run this setup. He was confused by the choice, and I think this kind of explains it. I don't think he really understood it. Unfortunately, when we got Matty Boy as when we got Matty Boy as a stand-in, I was literally like going into game, because this game started late, trying to find a stand-in for Doll Balls. When we got Matty Boy as a stand-in, the game that I was casting had already started, so I literally did not get the chance to tell him that that's what he's doing. But yeah, Ogre Magi was not picked for this skill. He was not picked for this skill. He was picked to go all in on that Bloodlust. And you know, the stun is good, and the ignite is good, so don't get me wrong. When I say Bloodlust, it wasn't literally just Bloodlust, but that was like the big reason, you know.
Ooh, damn, that is some damage.
Put the Nether Toxin on the popsicle!
Oh, that was close.
Yep. You know, I was talking earlier about how, you know, Nether Toxin's good in this lane because it denies Winter Wyvern the ability to heal herself. It only denies it if you're using it on the popsicle. Anyway, it happens.
Specifically, I was thinking, when it comes defensively, I don't think they were expecting the exact comp they ended up being against. Like, between Drow and Wyvern, lots of burst damage, really good slows between the two of them. You can't run away, but they don't have any stuns, so you should be fine to just TP away, and
we're gonna Mars
kind of
TP
have
up
to.
here.
Oh boy, he's 6!
Someone's
gonna eat it.
Well, the good news is that he's not gonna blank.
He doesn't have boots! It's
You're saying we don't care about the arena?
Into an arena, okay.
They really should have.
They should have cared about the arena. I
Double
don't.
kill with
Yep.
Ether Shock. Nice.
I don't think they expected the rest of the. I don't think they expected the shaman, but I don't think that was a good arena to take in any case. And again, you know, down here, Wraith King and Pugna trying to get something done against the Drow Ranger, but one level of Gust, and just suddenly they just, you know, can't really do anything anymore. It's a very powerful level. Meanwhile, at mid. At mid, you got almost a stalemate going on. The sniper is pretty much, like, last hit-wise, they're tied, but the sniper is way up in the denies. Ember Spirit no longer wants any part of this lane, and has pretty much just resigned himself to stacking and beating up jungle camps. I will say this much, I think in this specific game, Ember Spirit getting this much farm against Sniper should hopefully mean more than the other way around. If there is somebody who can stop the Drow and the Sniper, it is Ember Spirit. He does have a very good ability to do that, and he's another person who gets a lot of benefit from becoming the Bloodlust machine gun.
Ooh, what is this going on here?
The Radiant has cleared the tower. This is a very awkward Wyvern ult.
Wasting their damage on a Viper. Oh, he's already under the effect of Winter's Curse. He's still gonna die. Oh, Spite ult comes out from Mars.
Yep. He's gonna trap everyone in with the snakes. Very nice.
That bought them some time, but unfortunately, Ogre's armor
yeah,
and HP regen's letting him live it.
Almost die just from the snakes.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, important reminder that Ogre Magi has the best, if not some of the best, stat gains per level throughout the entire roster, and has really good base armor and HP regen. He is really hard to kill physically.
Right. What are you saying, Randy?
He's frustrating to play against.
I don't remember what I was about to say.
Damn.
Wasn't that important anyway.
Sad.
Speaking of important, let's take a look at the itemization across everybody here. Let's see what everyone's up to at this point.
Do you get reincarnated 6 in this game? I'm not sure. Like,
I don't reasonably.
That much pressure.
Katie has a pretty good spread of abilities.
Got reincarnated because she was worried about the arena, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep, Katie is so far very classic style. Oh, stun out here on the shaman.
Exchange here, but I don't think anyone's really committed to this.
Yeah, that was a bit
Viper's
unfortunate.
out of position, but nah, nothing's happening here.
If the chains had gone out there on a better target, I think there's a kill there, but the chains linked to the wrong guy. Basically.
Sniper's committed to this a bit, but he really shouldn't be sitting out.
Pugna is going to vomit the old health bar right into Ember Spirit.
You know, I've seen a really crazy play before where someone built Armlet and a couple of extra items on Pugna back when his Ags gave him no cooldown on his life drain. He just kept Armlet toggling to keep the HP siphon going. It's pretty crazy.
Nice. You know, I do gotta wonder a little bit, right? If you're gonna do this on Pugna, basically your life is gonna be vomiting HP into people. Why not build the Locket? That's legitimately
Locket does work too, yeah. No, it was the build, if I remember, was Heart of Tarask, Armlet, and what's it called? Locket with.
That's a good edge.
There's one I'm forgetting. That was part of the items.
Wraith King, by the way, has an armlet here, which isn't that great, but Worth is the top of the chart.
True, but I would say that it's probably not the best choice against, say, Wyvern. Namely because having HP drain effects on you while it's toggled on and being beat up by your entire team, not fun.
Yeah. They really, at this point, don't have any way to try and force DotFE back when they engage. Like, they can really not do anything right now but just kind of sit there and take it, and that's not going to be the case until Ember Spirit gets more online than he is now. It is good that he's this online.
With that double damage rune, man.
Yep.
Check that combat log.
Unfortunate time for that that little garden gnome to pick that up. Yep. 1422 damage in a fight of 14 minutes.
Moon River is getting absolutely destroyed. Mars getting the tail end of a drain, but he's gonna walk it off. The Nether Toxin. Oh my god, he's dead!
Wow.
Yeah, he is. Alright. Last tick. Very nice.
EDC eats it in a really ignoble way. Wow.
Yep. Such ignoble blood taints the soil where it's spilled. You get what I'm saying?
Good awareness from Moon.
Yep. Skeleton King has now moved into the enemy jungle. I will say this much: I do think you can be smart about how you use the armlet in these fights as Wraith King. Like, I think you can definitely, if you're a toggle god, you can definitely toggle it well, especially if you assume, and I think you're right to do so, that most of the team fight, like the winner's curse is probably going to start most fights, right?
Ooh.
Oh. Just missed
Was that a...
god.
he got jumped.
Yep. At the very least, Mars is going to eat in response.
Sniper is so painfully low, but they're just afraid. They're scared.
Well, they're right to be scared because, I mean, if they just stick around, like, the next ether shot kills two. So...
Oh my god, that was really clutch Splitter Blast, but it wasn't enough to kill Crafty.
Yep, just walking away with just an inch of HP left, looking at that shard next. Not a bad idea here at the very...
Nice.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Something funny about that.
The selfless support, what can you do?
Yep. Just wait a couple of seconds.
I think we need to play taps for our man, guys. Can they not deny that mid tower? They should just get rid of that thing already. It's not worth
No,
sitting
it's
here and
not.
losing people.
Oh my god, it
Or
is literally 10 HP, well 12 HP too much.
Wow, that's sad.
The good news is next time Sniper has a nasty thought about it, it's in deny range. The bad news is Sniper doesn't want to have many nasty thoughts right now. He does have the right build to
Next
do
time
it.
Sniper has a nasty thought about it, it's in dead range, potentially. Okay, or Mighty
Ooh.
Boy can play defense.
Multicast.
Yeah, but did get denied ultimately.
And you got the multicast up, but nothing came of it because of Wyvern's nearby.
Yep, that was good strategy there, actually. You know, Matty Boy point guards the tower and Crazy Potato from behind just knocks it down.
It's
Well, they're
like I mentioned. It's like I mentioned before. Wyvern is a fantastic deterrent to prevent people from diving in after Sniper. This is a lengthy pause.
It sure was.
Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I don't believe Spaz is typically the one to play heroes like Shadow Shaman. Am I correct?
I forgot to call the lineup for DotFE.
He plays it.
Yeah, he plays it on like a semi-regular basis. When I think Spaz heroes, the two Spaz heroes I associate most with them, I think, are Ogre and Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor, yeah.
Yeah, that's because they banned it earlier, right? I was wondering why I wasn't seeing him on Witch Doctor. I was like, I don't think this is normally his hero. Was kind of tickle in the back of my brain there.
Right. Speaking of not normally a zero, I will say this much: for somebody who does not play Pause 3, the arena so far coming out of Mars is
Okay.
really good.
Solo Arena.
Never
This
Remnant?
is confident. He has no ability to stop this.
Yep.
Okay, this is a bizarre little
Trisoft
play
just
there.
randomly dies somewhere else. Yep. I assume was just kind of hoping no rotations come out. I think no rotations come
that
out,
is-
at least Ember has to route.
Mars is running for his life.
Yeah, Mark
Maybe
made it
he's assuming Shaman had more follow-up than he did.
Potentially. But you know, if no one's around to TP there, he's just dead, and you're not really losing that much. I mean, Arena at this point, it's down a minute, and like, it being down a minute sucks, but what's gonna happen in the next minute? Probably not much. Nobody's really in position to fight right now, so he's probably
Yeah,
fine
Mars-
to lose out on that.
The timing that Mars's ult comes up with is so frequent and at just right intervals, because it's usually about respawn length for enemy heroes. It is, I wouldn't say oppressive, but it is definitely, it's a pace setter for your team.
Right.
Any amount of seconds that you're not basically already in the middle of trying to ult someone in a fight is wasted opportunity for Mars.
Well, there is a degree to which it's like, well, the enemy team has to be in a position where you're going to be able to do something right like that, and them cowering all the way back means it's not time for arenas, it's time for pushes. So it's
That
probably
I agree with.
Unfortunately, he is now just going to die instantly.
No. Yeah, he's not even gonna try an ult.
Winner's Curse coming out there is
should have
not enough
ulted,
to
though.
save. This is good.
Oh,
This is really
brutal
good.
damage.
Okay.
And a near full team wipe. Katie was not in that mix, but she is currently sieging their top tower really quickly. Nope, they got the glyph.
Top T1, I do not agree with this play. Okay, maybe if not everybody's going. I thought for a second everybody was going to stop them, but no.
Wraith King can fight it off single-handedly.
But they're going back now. This is not great. Definitely should have just...
Oh no,
committed to
double
that.
damage, she found Ember. Is Katie gonna respond? No, Ember's
Nope,
gonna
she's
run.
gonna get chained up and he's gonna walk away. Yeah, that wasn't great. That
Doesn't quite have the mana to fight him there.
Yeah. It wasn't great. The play was definitely to just keep pushing up that tower rather than to split up, especially with Viper having the shard already. Like, if Viper just stays at that tower, I think the tower just dies. Should have
agree,
just
actually.
kind of...
Ooh, Vambrace. Good item for a Drow to find at this point in the game.
There's somebody to send out there. It's definitely the Ember Spirit. Like, the Ember Spirit is A, the only person who could credibly kill Drow Ranger, and B, the only person who isn't really needed for the tower pushes here. Like, if you want to kill a tower, it goes a little something like this. Ogre Magi makes Viper and Wraith King machine guns, and they just beat the hell out of the tower really quickly. Meanwhile, Pugnet's just dropping bombs on it to help speed up the process. They got a good offensive lineup. They just need to actually go on the offensive.
I'm a little worried, speaking of going on the offensive. Oh, yeah, here we go, the smoke gank.
Four-man smoke coming out from DotFE. Drow Ranger, Wind River and Sniper, and Shadow Shaman all taking a look in the jungle
Oh,
here.
where's Mars? They need him for their fights.
It's a good question. I don't know how much they need him if Wraith King is just
They're gonna
completely
catch Bean
alone.
off guard.
He's gonna get killed twice here.
Viper's gonna show up for assistance, but it's not gonna be enough.
Oh,
Oh,
Wraith
no,
King
they're
had the
pushing
phase
through.
boots.
Oh no.
That is
Okay.
pretty sad.
They're in good position for curse.
They
but...
really should try to fight this with the wards.
Oh,
They
he's
need
stunned.
Oh.
Yeah, they were in
Oh,
a good position for a
they're
curse. They
coming.
literally just could not turn around and kill. Like, they could not turn around and actually get the curse off.
Drow
fast
makes the
enough.
mistake of getting within range of Drow's auto attacks.
Yep.
Yep.
They split
Rest
to
in peace.
they split to end that. That's not great, but that's way better than what the alternative was there, I think.
Top tower is under attack.
Ogre Magi has at the very least finally finished up maxing the Bloodlust.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Ember
structures
Spirit
are
split
fortified.
pushes. Not a bad plan. I think if I'm in this game and I'm, the general given orders, it's definitely Ember Spirit should definitely be splitting as often as possible. He should be going for solo targets when they appear. They do not seem to be very frequent this game, but when they do appear, go after them. And otherwise, just, well, free food. I've seen a lot of support players in the last couple of days doing this. Just kind of trying to get vision in this particular spot from Radiant. Just doesn't seem to ever go that well.
Well, it's
Seems
because you don't notice it when it goes well.
no, I think it's
Only
more.
noticeable if they run in and die.
I think it's just because they just run in and die every time. I don't think I've seen it be successful, even consciously watching it happen is the thing I'm really going for here. It just seems to be, if you run up there as a support, you just die. Take the safer road.
I'll take that.
And you're still running under a ward spot, but it's a ward spot that is much less likely for 5 people to be just kind of casually hanging out. I guess the big thing is, this is just the du jour Dire hangout spot right now. Like, if you don't know where you want to be right now as Dire, you're in this general area. Doesn't really feel like there's an equivalent for that on Radiant, either. Like, you don't see people, like, running up here. I mean, you do, but it's way less common than just taking this.
They have
stair,
run
I
up
guess.
here because that cliff has got a sentry on it.
Yeah, they have.
So-
Well, they didn't necessarily run up here. They could have just run this way, just warded up there.
Oh, sure.
So you know.
I think it was during that smoke earlier, probably,
Right.
that got planted.
Certainly, they often try to do it without smokes
Dire's
as
middle
well.
tower is under attack.
I mean, it's not like it helps that much, because you're usually just, like I said, just gonna run right into somebody there, but I don't know. Imba Spirit got
Radiant's bottom
axe.
tower is under attack.
It's pretty good for the split push. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help them with the fights that much in this particular game, I don't think. But, definitely is gonna help Ember be slippery on the split. It's gonna help him get picks. Net worth advantage is actually in QoP Circles' favor here, which is good for them. The bad news is that the farm is centered all on the one person they really don't want it to be. Like, more than anything, they don't want it to be on Drow. And you certainly don't want this to
a lot of
happen.
damage.
Yep, Arena goes up,
Arena.
and Wraith King is just consigned to death. I think the Skeleton King here is definitely trying to make aggressive plays like this too early. He's got, well, CombinationBean has got good net worth here, but
Dire's top
without the
tower is
BKB,
under
like, you're not
attack.
doing anything here. Ocelot, you still on? We haven't heard from you in a
Radiant's
few
middle
minutes.
tower is under attack.
I'm still here. Just sort of.
Soap she buys the Metal Hammer before the Ogre Axe or Dragon will flame.
It's true.
Gotta say, looking at builds here,
Actually,
Sniper is currently leading with the real offense. Not quite
Yep.
beating out Max Farm, mind you, but his damage potential is really high.
Yeah, right now Sniper really just has the ability to just stand in one spot and own people, and with Ember Spirit being a little behind, it feels like so far he hasn't really been able to go in. Doesn't really have the team comp for it either. I feel like this probably would have been a better game for the Invoker on the Moon River. I think Invoker probably has a little bit more to do in this particular matchup.
Invoker could have built literally any build and potentially caused enough havoc to turn it around.
Right. Yeah, the thing with Invoker is that Invoker kind of invites the havoc that you need to close on Sniper, and Ember Spirit can close on Sniper. It's just that in doing so, he's often going to need to blow his own escape, and if he blows his own escape, he's going to sit in an arena and die, as we've seen a couple of times in this game.
Here we go. We're gonna see the ult. We're gonna see an ult. We're gonna see an ult.
We're going to see Ogre Magi instantly die,
Uh-oh.
and Wraith King die without Reincarnate to
And
follow.
this is why you do not trickle into a fight.
Yeah, partially that's why you don't trickle in,
Look,
partially
Jax played that really well.
Partially-
Because he just scouts right over the tree line constantly, sees all the TPs coming in, and just focuses the entire team on Wraith King, who just dies instantly.
Right. Good news is Reincarnate's back up now. Yeah, it just wasn't something Wraith King should have been personally part of. This is definitely like Bean is definitely taking fights way too early here. Like, there is no reason. Like, this is not great if she stays in the jungle for longer, don't get me wrong. But like,
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
yeah, this is just, you know, just another game. We saw that last week as well, where she's just trying to get out too early and just completely eating it every time she shows her face. And notably, she's completely eating it every time she shows her face, and Drow Ranger
Oh.
isn't even coming close for response.
Interesting. The Nether Ward's on the creep. Unfortunate.
He's actually getting hammered here, though. But they're
Match
focusing on
comes
the
up
wrong
every second.
targets! That,
Oh, okay.
oh my god. They're gonna get some kills for it, but they're also gonna get some very nasty deaths for
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
It's good.
they're gonna get Katie, but only by a hair's breadth, and Sniper's gonna finish them off. Oh no, the Decrepify into the snipe! Oh no!
Okay, it wasn't technically still active when the assassinate landed, so.
That was
No.
that was a masterclass in bad VIP selection there. They had Katie very low, right here, right? She was very low for a very large portion of the
Oh,
fight.
no.
Okay, goodbye, Sniper.
Magnus gonna do it.
The last
He's
man
the last
standing.
standing. Hell yeah.
But they had Drow very, very, very low. But rather than going after the Drow, they were too worried about trying to fend off the teamfight ults. Well, the teamfight ults came anyway, and so what should have been, you know, they just kill Drow, lose maybe Ember Spirit in the process and get back, turn into they kill Drow and they lose Ember Spirit and Skeleton King and Viper and Ogre Magi in the process, you know? because they focus too much on the other factors. Gotta finish your food, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make absolute sure a VIP like that goes down. And then rather than pivoting to like Mars and the Wyvern, probably pivot to Sniper after that. It's about the target selection. We saw some of that in the game against Hunter Bounties back in week 2. No, week 3, sorry. Where, you know, oftentimes the ults would just come out in a bad order. Oftentimes the VIP selection just wasn't great. They, you know, well, no, not against Hunter Bounties week 3. It was against WSC week 1. The target priority just wasn't great. The ults would just kind of come out in an awkward order, and as a result, like you always just see somebody weaseling out that really probably shouldn't have gotten away. If the the VIP selection there is a bit more comprehensive, and that's a communication issue, of course. The VIP selection there is a bit more comprehensive. If they're a bit more focused on what they had to do in these fights, if they're better at striking down the VIPs here, I think a lot of these fights go better. Katie's scary, but she's not invincible right now. She is definitely not invincible by any stretch. I think maybe they psyched themselves out a bit about that. Not invincible by any stretch. Neither is Sniper, though she's going to be immortal for 1 life very soon.
I imagine we're going to be having some difficulties in the Roche pit here, considering that they are kind of openly walking in, but no, they're just going to let him do it.
Roche is just going to die really fast.
Yeah, the response is there in the triangle, but not quite quick enough.
I think they lost a lot of their confidence on this.
I gotta say, watching both those illusions, they're just illusions, but watching those die that quickly, that has to be a visual morale hit.
I gotta say, Viper has less net worth than Pugna right now, which is not great.
That's true. Well, Pugna did 1v1 their Sniper, so...
Right.
I guess he's the carry now.
Can realistically 1v1 anyone without a stun, though. That's just sort of how it goes.
He's one of the best 1v1 heroes in the game.
At the very least, Viper is well ahead for net worth, but not that ahead, unfortunately. It's our game for Viper.
I think Viper's best option right now is just pure and simple, drop Nether Toxin on Katie at any opportunity and Viper strike either her or Sniper.
So we have this happening again. The only person actually doing something right now is Moon River. Everyone else is just kind of sitting around in base, not doing anything.
I mean, they are absolutely intimidated by the combination of Drow and, well...
Wraith King is going to go out here, but the support line just not able
he's
to
going out
penetrate
alright.
that arena.
Oh, okay.
Vernal does kill Ogre Magi.
The Aegis is popped, but Sniper's got free reign to kick ass.
Aegis is popped. Mars is going to go down really quickly.
Doesn't matter. Moon's here.
Yeah, everybody's... Again! Everybody just splits up! Uh-oh. Everybody just splits the fight really badly! Oh, you hate to see it! Now they're all just going to get shot in order. You hate to see it. Everybody just kind of couldn't figure out who was the one to go for in that fight, and everybody just kind of started chasing somebody different. Half the team started going after Drow, half the team started, like...
I gotta give you some sagely wisdom here from someone who's got 5,000 hours in this game. If you let the little green skeleton midget in the background stay alive, you're not gonna be alive.
Oh, this is interesting. We're getting buybacks.
It's quite the forward play from Moon River.
Ooh, damn!
Their cores instantly.
Yeah, that's interesting. They got a lot of free time now.
But they can't really
buybacks,
afford a buyback because 3 of them are gonna be back before they even reach that tier 2.
Right. Notably, there's 2 buybacks remaining on QoP Circles on Ember Spirit and Ogre Magi, and there are 5 buybacks on DotFE. So
they can do something here, but I don't think they're gonna
this
get past
tower
this tier 2.
This tower is going to melt in very short order, though. Well, not if the glyph comes out.
They are buying lots of time for respawns, and I think it's gonna play in their favor.
Crafty, use your shard! Okay, there we go.
Oh no, Ember!
Okay.
Oh my god, the clutch decrepify!
That's the good decrep.
Yeah.
So is that what they drafted Pugna for, actually?
It's very likely. Pugna's got great cast range with max rank of decrepify. He can actually outrange a lot of stuff with his abilities.
I was kind of thinking that during draft. It was like...
It's a subtle
Torquing
counter
it
pick
off.
option, yeah. Oh my god. Man, they are hemorrhaging people here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And once again, just look at that building go down.
Dire's tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
A good turnaround
Dire's
effort, to
middle
be sure.
barracks has fallen.
Yep. And there's a
This-
step towards equalizing, but
Yep. Ember Spirit has also taken first place for net worth.
Ooh, Quickening Charm also got found, and Ceremonial. Oh, that's two things you don't want to see on that team.
Right. I
Pugner
will
can make
say,
fantastic use of that robe.
I don't
so
think
can
the
Viper.
play here is necessarily, I don't think the play here is necessarily to try and just stick around, try to farm up, just make a slow retreat. You're not winning by that much. Really opening yourself up to have this happen.
they're gonna find Matty Boy, yeah.
At the very least, this T1 is still up, so they're gonna see if there's a chase going on. It's gonna help the retreat, but still a very scary retreat anyway. Think the better option there was just, you know, once they get the racks and there's nothing more to do, just TP up back to friendly side and make them just waste a lot of time crossing the river coming to you.
Speaking of wasting time, gotta say,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
for all their advantages they've got over on Dire, right? DotFE's got some really strong hitters, but they have one crucial weakness I'm beginning to spot.
What's that?
Radiant's
They
top
don't
tower
have the
is under
ability
attack.
to stand up to, well, any concentrated damage that comes out. Mars' shield is great for directing some of the auto attacks going out towards himself if it's toggled on, but they're not doing damage with auto attacks by and large. It's mostly magic damage passively coming from Pugna, Ogre, and Viper. Wraith King and
Right.
Ember are hitting people, make no mistake, but that ambient magic damage going out, some of the people over on Dire just can't sit in that for too long.
Right.
And they have some really good stat growth heroes in their team, like Wyvern, Mars, and even, believe it or not, Sniper can get some pretty decent strength stats with their general itemization
That
and level
is
games.
quite
But
the
oh my
aggressive
god,
flank.
it's gonna work out.
Well, interesting
It's
battle here.
River.
Heather
In the
Toxin.
process, okay, it's not gonna work out.
Nether Toxin does not come out on the sniper there. I'm not really sure where it landed, but not on him, unfortunately, which meant sniper just got
Pugna's
to
caught
eat
out.
everybody.
This is Curtains.
Yep.
Radiant's top
And I think that's a dieback.
That's diebacks for basically everybody on this team, yeah. The only person who didn't die back is Matty
GG.
Boy, that's the GG.
Radiant's top barracks.
And
Yep,
we're getting
there
out
it
of here.
is.
And Moon
Moon River is
the one
unwilling to
GG.
yield, though. He's giving it his best.
Dire victory.
Game, well played. Alright. Let's break this one down, shall we?
To lose to Spaz team. Impossible.
I am
So-
really curious of those damage totals. I've really got to see that.
Here you go.
Holy crap.
46 grand on that sniper. I think there were a couple of big issues. I think there's really three core issues here this game. One is letting the drow through. Just letting the drow through, it really just removed like 3 of the people from this team instantly. Like even after the BKB, it's just Wraith King is always going to be playing from behind against a drow ranger, basically speaking. Like there's not really going to be a point in the game where I would say Wraith King is going to be that credible of a threat to drow. Like sure, it's going to be definitely possible that Wraith King does get the kill out if everything lines up in his favor. But you know, if you play the Wraith King versus Drow Ranger 1v1 100 times, she's gonna win like 60 of them, 70 of them, you know? The letting her through just really caused a very bad cascade here. I think the off lane's operation was just all wrong, basically. I don't think Matty Boy really understood what he was doing on the Ogre Magi and how the lane was basically supposed to go. And while I can't imagine it would have gone great if the script was stuck to, because again, the Drow got through, it's just going to be a nasty lane for them no matter what happens. I do think it goes a lot better than it did, because that was basically free farm for Katie the lane. Just not a great pick to be let through, and I think the Ember Spirit pick, while Ember Spirit doesn't have a good KDA, I do think they picked too late for him. Like, I don't mean literally too late in the pick cycle, I mean, they literally picked Ember Spirit, like, he's too late game for this particular matchup, with the Wraith King there, and basically knowing with the Drow pick that Viper was not going to do great for them this game, it would have definitely been a lot better, I think, to pick up somebody who's going to have more staying power in those early game fights, which is why I was talking about the Invoker. He didn't die in those early game fights, and that's good, but the problem is that he just didn't get much done in them either.
Yeah.
I think if the Drow is banned out, I don't think DotFE wins this game, just kind of period. I think if you ban the Drow out, and you put Katie on a hero that has less ability to just have some impact in those early fights, I think what just kind of happens is that you have a few good arena kills, and that's all great, but later on in the game, they have a hard time just, they can just blow through Katie, eat the sniper, and just win. The Drow Ranger stopped that for the most part. And they also have really, really good ways to kill individuals, and especially to blow down towers. We saw how fast the structures were falling there. If there is no Drow Ranger, the Drow Ranger really changed the world here, I think. It's just, for this comp, just the wrong person to let through.
Yep.
And like I said, I think the VIP selection here it wasn't good for QoP Circles. Like I said, especially in some of those bigger fights, Bean will be chasing one person, Moon River will be chasing another, and then the 3 and under club will be chasing a third person, usually just the opposing 3 and under club, right? Everybody would just kind of split off in different directions. Nobody really seemed like they had much of a concrete plan in the team fights, which ain't great. It's definitely in a lineup like this. This is definitely like a big VIP lineup. Every strike that lands on Mars or Winnow Vern in this game, or Shadow Shaman, after their ults have landed that you could have directed to Katie or Crystal Miku, that was a hit wasted, basically. Like, every single time you had, like, the Viper ult drop on Mars after the arena was up, and, like, Viper was the only one in it, it's like, well, that's a waste of a Viper strike,
Right. Now, I'd like to actually point out a few things here, like, for each hero that they had on both sides, I'd like to give a quick synopsis, performance-wise. Shadow Shaman was definitely where he needed to be 90% of the time. Always within range to help whenever a team fight broke out. Very good attendance for fights. 100% support, all things considered, is pretty respectable. Did very good. Spaz did wonderful.
Yeah, it's out of Spaz's usual playbook, but he definitely did it well here.
Yeah, Wyvern, I'd like to give the Nuclear Deterrent Award for being probably the single most responsible person on that team to preventing team fights from breaking out whenever they tried to contest an aggressive gank. Half the time, someone got jumped, and if they were more than, like, say, within, like, 10, 20 feet of the person being jumped and Wyvern was in line of sight, they just didn't bother saving that person over on QoP Circles. It was just death. They just allowed it to happen. They had no better option.
Right. I do think there were a
PvC on
couple of
Mars?
times. I do think there were a couple of times where they did psych themselves out about that as well. Especially earlier on in the
Yeah.
game, they would just be like, "Oh well, Wyvern has either saved somebody, gotten away, or gotten a kill." When it's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Definitely had a phenomenal impact.
Mad Lad Award goes to PvC Pipe on Mars. Absolutely fearless. Zero hesitation to throw an arena or jump somebody, regardless of the situational advantage at hand. Still good plays, though. I like to see some of those arenas that came out.
For a career
Crystal
support
Miku.
player, it's definitely an interesting thing to see. I think he played it very well.
Yep, Crystal Miku, you get the Performance as Advertised Award. Played Sniper like Sniper, not much deviation, not exactly creative, but I will say that it was done very, very to the letter. Sniper's exact role exemplified. Very good. Katie gets the Value Point Award for actually leveling skills that could potentially help in lane and paid off tremendously on the number of times they towered of trying to kill her and her lane mate.
No, let me just say this.
100%
Let me
good.
just say this frankly. Even if they get Drought, if she doesn't level Gust in lane, I don't think they have a victory condition. If she doesn't level Gust in lane, I think Ogre and Viper just walk all the hell over him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if they're not together, like even if Matty Boy doesn't understand his place in life is to be hit E on Viper and make him attack 1,000 times a second, right? Even if Matty Boy doesn't understand that, like, I don't think it ultimately matters that much. I think, even in that case, if she doesn't get the point in Gust, she just dies in lane, she just loses this game. Pretty much, period.
Yep. Now on to QoP Circles team. Starting with Peko,
That's
Ember
Moon
Spirit,
River.
Moon River. I don't know why it always switches up names. It's always so confusing to me. Either way, Moon River on Ember Spirit. You get the Die Hard Award. You did not give up, even when the GGs were being called.
That's true.
seems futile, but I gotta respect that kind of gumption. You get my respect as somebody who does not give in until the fat lady sings. Respect. Bean gets the Perseverance Award for literally refusing to give up even when completely surrounded. Now, I'm not entirely sure what to think of.
Crafty
Like the
Potato
pick?
got see. I got the motherfuck countered picked out of me, and I shouldn't have
Yeah.
been. My hero should not have been first phased award.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Now we get to Matty Boy.
Matty Boy gets C. I shouldn't have dove 30 times in lane award.
A little on that, but I specifically would like to point
Why
out
does he have ogres in it?
I'd like to give Ogre Magi the Wet Fart Award. Because I've said this once, and I've said it many times from now, and I will keep saying it from now until something changes, but Ogre Magi may be statistically, because of his simplicity, a relatively safe pick. He is not a consistent pick. While he is nice to have, he is not always the correct choice.
I think he is the correct choice. I just think he was played wrong this game.
I wholeheartedly disagree. Well, I mean, the strategy that he was intended for him was good, but I
Yeah.
feel like there could have been better choices for that by and large.
I don't think there are. I think when it comes to attack steroids in lane, it's pretty much, especially for that specific encounter, it's Ogre or bust. Like
Personally
maybe VS,
speaking,
but I think Ogre is going to be better.
Personally speaking, I think Beastmaster would have been a much better choice.
Well,
he has a long-distance
no.
hard stun.
Absolutely not on the Beastmaster. I'm sorry, I don't trust Matty Boy to play that one.
Perhaps not Matty Boy, but comp speaking, your opinion aside, fucker, I don't think that Ogre Magi was a standard or solid pick that deserved to be in this match. No offense to the player.
Yeah. Well, you're offending me
And-
because I picked it for this match specifically, so fuck you.
Good. Now, we have Pugna. I don't know what to say. Pugna was definitely instrumental, definitely a pillar of the team, but not sturdy enough is the problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous damage. Truly, what's what I'm looking for here? Altruistic in their application of their abilities. Meant really well. Applied their skills correctly in most cases. The only downside is the enemy team had some method or other of getting around these contingencies, and it just Pugna falls apart when he's. If Pugna's been picked apart, he doesn't have a whole lot.
Right.
He's too
He also doesn't have that much to do for you in lane aside from just try and support
Do
trade the
damage.
other guy.
Yeah.
But when he
basically
can't
just
support
do damage.
when he can't support trade the other guy or eat the Mars, and it's like, you know, what are you doing, really? But yeah.
But yeah, that's my synopsis.
Yeah, like I said, I really do think with Ogre Magi Viper, it's like you just go all in on E. You basically just like the other skills, they're whipped cream. You go all in on E with that Ogre Viper lane, and you are going to be out damaging everybody. But unfortunately, the actual execution of it just did not go well there. I don't think he understood it. And in fairness, he wasn't explained it. Like I said, he was picked literally after I was occupied. Like, I got to say 3 things to him. If I was able to explain it, I do wonder if this game changes. I don't know if it does, because like I said, the draw gets through. I think this is pretty much lost in draft.
Personally speaking, based on just averages, I will say that it would have definitely bought them the mid game where they would have had the most advantage for QoP Circles, because that attack speed steroid would have allowed them to win exchanges that normally would have been lost thanks to the attack speed.
Especially
However,
with how Crafty builds, because he does the early shards, so he's just annihilating your armor in seconds, and Wraith King just has, or Ember Spirit has a nasty thought about you and you explode.
Yeah, but I think where it falls apart is the fact that their QoP Circles just doesn't have strong enough late game. Like, Wraith King can be strong late game, so can Viper and Pugna and Ember, but...
Yeah, just not against Drow Ranger.
Yeah, I know, like, they can be strong, but that's not a guarantee. If you make it to late game, Drow and Sniper will be strong.
Yeah. And I think also, like I said, like, yeah, the execution factor just didn't come up here. So, like I said, I know it's gonna sound like I'm flaming Matty Boy. I like Matty Boy. I just don't think he understood what his job was here. Anyway, we'll see you next time.